passiontimes.hk。
Hi guys, welcome back to the English portion of this show. Welcome back to my workbench. I don't really have anything to talk about this week. I've been really enjoying Wednesday, but I haven't finished it yet. And I'm quite sure the boss is going to talk about it because he seems to be like posting a lot of like Facebook posts about Wednesday. So he's probably going to talk about it at some point, so I'm not going to talk about it. And I don't really have much to talk about, so I'm just going to show you guys what I'm working on. And I left my tripod at the office, so this is going to be complicated when I move the camera around. So I'm putting it on my toolbox right now. I hope it doesn't fall when I start working. So what I'm gonna be working on today, well, as I've mentioned for the past few weeks, I've been just planing a lot of wood and making things flat. So I've made my rib structures. I've made both rib structures for my violas, like, because I'm going to make two. And so I have the rib structure already. One of them, I'm waiting for the glue to dry. And the next thing after I have the rib structure all done, of course, I'm going to need the plates for them. And I'm gonna need 2 top plates and 2 back plates. I've already joined one top plate. And I still have... Okay, one of the back plates is gonna be a one-piece maple back, so I don't have to join that, thankfully. And the other is gonna be... the other back is going to be a poplar plate, and I haven't joined that yet. I still have to flatten it before I join it. So right now I'm gonna show you guys, well, explain to you guys first. So here's a piece of wood. It was actually, if you look here, it was actually one piece of wood, and then we had to saw it out. And the plate is going to be, this way. It has to join this way. And before I can make this joint, I have to flatten these 2 sides, obviously. So when I put it on my clamps and clamp it together, there will be a flat surface to lie on. And also I need this to be flat because to make this joint work, these 2 sides, they'll have to be square. So I'm gonna see how unsquare it is. Go from this side. Actually, right now it's gonna be like super not square. So I'm just gonna look to see, wait, this is actually quite square. I'm surprised. Well, even if it's like perfectly square, I'll still have to plane it a bit because it's got a lot of marks from before, like from working on the plate. Let's look at this one, see how square or not square it is. This is pretty amazing. This is also not that unsquare. But it's really difficult. I usually, even when it's square, it's very easy to make it not square when planing this side. even though it's square, it doesn't fit right now. Like, it's probably, maybe it's rounded in the middle. Because well, looking at it right now, if I show you this right now, oops. You can tell there's a really, really dark line in the middle. If there's a dark line in the middle, it means that it's not joining together. It's not going to join together. There's going to be a gap if there's a dark line. It can only be like perfectly joined if when you put it together, you see a white line. Then that means that there's no gap whatsoever. And I'd have to make sure there's a white line on both this side and on the bottom side. Okay, so there are two methods, well, three methods really, to make this square. One method, obviously, is to just clamp it here and plane it by eye to make it square. But I'm not that skillful, unfortunately. And if I do it that way, I could do it that way because in school, our first few instruments, we couldn't really use other tools to help us. Like, we had to do it by eye. And I could do it, but it would take a long time. That's why there are other methods to make a square surface. So what I have here is called a shooting board. So I just place it on my bench. I have a stop on this side so it can catch on the edge of my bench. This is also a stop. Wait. You can't see. Okay, so this is also a stop for the plate to stop. And got two layers. We made it from very hard, it's not plywood. I can't remember what this thing is called. It's very similar to plywood, but it's much harder and much flatter. And this is two layers. So basically, if the bottom is flat and this thing is flat, and when I put my plate here and plane it, then it should be square. The other method is to clamp my plate onto the vise here, and then I'd use a very big plane with a thing called a fence to hold against the flat surface. And then I can also make a square side, a square surface by using that. I'll show you that in a bit. I'm gonna try using this shooting board method first, and I'll show you guys how I do it. Maybe I should try to move the camera a little further away. Oops. I hope it doesn't fall. Okay. It's not falling. So I put my plate on the shooting board, and I have a plane that's got a flat side. So I'm gonna put it on the shooting board sideways, and then I'm just gonna push my plane through. Okay, my plane, I think I might have to adjust it a little. It's too aggressive, it's not cutting. Oops. Sometimes the ends are more difficult to cut. And I have to check if it's the cutting, if it's like equally cutting on both ends. I think it might still be a little aggressive for the first cut. And I just make sure, try to make it as little as possible. Because by adjusting the blade here, I can adjust it out or in, and that can determine how aggressive I'm planing. Okay, so I've retracted my blade a little, and then I can tell from the shavings that it's actually not that square. And also, there's probably more material in the middle of my plate than on the two ends. So once after I don't know how many passes, if I can get an even piece of wood shaving from, like, if I can get something like this all the way, then it's probably square and flat. Right now, I'm still only cutting the bottom part. Okay, this piece of spruce is a little hard. So this shooting board method, it doesn't work too well for very hard wood. Why's my piece dented? Strange. I think, I have no idea. This piece is not easy to cut, apparently. Like, it's more difficult to use this shooting board for harder wood because it will be very difficult for you to hold the plane against the wood and push it through. Okay, so I have bear claw on this piece of spruce. I'll show you what bear claw is. I don't know if you can tell. See? Yes. This piece is flat, but we can see there are like patterns on here. It's when the tree is growing and some anomalies when it's growing, and then it would create these marks. And these parts is denser than the rest of the wood, therefore it's harder. And so it'll be more difficult to plane through with that. Wait, wrong side, this side. Okay, let me try to make a few more passes. If it doesn't work, then I'll move on to the fence method. Thing is, I believe even though it's quite square right now, it's not very flat. It's probably rounded in the middle. Because I'm mostly cutting the wood in the middle. And this is like, this piece is quite hard. Let me try the other piece. I'll probably use the fence method in a bit. Okay, this piece seems to cut a little better. Maybe not. Yeah, it cuts a little better, this piece. But I can feel that it's bumpy along the way. It could be really bumps, or it could be the bear claw that I just mentioned, the denser parts of the wood, and it's harder to plane through it. Let me see how square or not square it is right now. I usually put my square here and then look at the light, like face the light. And then I can tell that it's not square at parts. Okay, so I know this is not square. So this is the shooting board method. I think because I've got bear claw on this piece of spruce, that it's a little difficult to push through like this. Like I get caught at places and it makes it not very straight and not very nice. So I'm gonna change to the plain with a fence method. I'm gonna put this away first. And I'm gonna bring over I can't remember the number of this plane. I think it's a number 5 plane. So I have this big plane. And actually I usually don't do it on this side, but then since I don't have my tripod, I can't put my camera on the other side. Oh well, just for the show's sake, I'm gonna show you. So I'm opening my vise. My bench is not that great, so the vise is also not that great. Let me see, I'm gonna try a thicker piece first. Is this thicker? This is strange. Why is it thicker on one side and not as thick on the other side? Anyway, so I'm gonna put my plate into the vise. Clamp my plate to the vise. So, and this is the flat side. So I want it to be square this way. I want it to be square this way. I can use this plane on its own, but then it's a very big plane. Wait, let me make sure the blade is even on both sides first. Have to retract it a little. I don't really like adjusting these big tools because it's just really heavy. You can't really hold it securely. Let me see. I'm gonna do this on this side. So I'm gonna put my fence on this side. So I have to adjust it a little more. Because the blade can move a little, like even when it's in its slot. So I have to make sure the blade is evenly out on both sides. Still too aggressive on one side than the other. Let me try this. So I'm just using this little piece of wood, and then I rub it against the plate and see and look at the size of the shavings. So if the shavings are all even along the whole blade, then okay, I need the blade to be out a little more. So I want it to be even on both sides. Oops. It takes a long time for me to get this right. Mainly because I'm like super anal about this, and okay, this plane is really way too heavy to hold with one hand and adjust with the other. And it's a very minuscule adjustment of the blade. So it's a little annoying that way. Okay. It's still a little not that uneven, but then since the edge of my plate isn't that thick, I'm just gonna show you guys how I do this. Okay, so since I usually go from this side to this side, so I have to move my little stop thing to the other side. So this is a fence. It's got magnets on it. I slide it onto my plane. So obviously this is gonna be a 90-degree angle then, and so if I plane it like this, holding the fence tightly. Okay, hold on. Okay, and then I'm just gonna pass it through. And then I can tell that this side, it's a little unsquare and there's more material on this side than the other side, because that's where my wood shavings came from. So same with the shooting board method. It's square when I can get a whole piece of shaving. I'm still only getting bits and pieces, so it's not square. But you can't rely on this 100%, because there are still other factors like how much of the blade is out, or there's also an issue with using such a huge plane because of the weight at the end of the plate. There's a tendency this part of the plane, it will dip because it's too heavy. So if it dips, then obviously it will cut off more material on the ends, and then the middle will be round. So when I get to the end of the plate, when I get to the end of my cut, I would slightly lift my plane a little to make sure it doesn't dip. But right now, dipping is not my biggest concern. This not being square is. Okay, so I have to hold the fence tightly against the flat surface, and then I'll just push through. I think I'm quite close because my piece is getting wider. So when this piece is even and as wide as the edge of my plate, then it should be very close to square, even if it's not like 100% square. But we can deal with that in a minute. No idea what's going on with this bit. Okay, let me just look for a bit. Actually looks really square to me right now. But I can't tell until I put the other piece, until I make the other piece square, and then I'll put it on top and see if it's really, if it would fit together. So I'm gonna try planing this piece. I wonder if I can make both pieces square before my 30-minute timer is up. Because there's more weight, because this plane is really heavy, that's why I won't get stuck on the bear claw or on the denser parts of the wood like I did just now with the shooting board. So in a way, using this plane on harder woods makes more sense. But I'm not doing this from my usual direction, so it's a little difficult for me. But it's okay. I can move back to my usual position after I finish the show. Sometimes this takes like 2 minutes. Sometimes it takes 2 days to make this joint square. So I can never tell how long I will need for this task. It remains one of the most difficult tasks for me when making a violin or viola or any instrument. This making it square thing. And sometimes even if the joint looks like perfectly fine, when I test clamp it, when I add glue, then it twists. Sometimes. Okay, let me see. I don't even know if it's because there's I don't have a light right behind my square or what, but it looks really nice. Okay, no, it doesn't look that nice towards the end. So it's square on one side, but not that square on the other side. So I have to take more shavings. Probably because I can't. Let me try to plane with my left hand. I don't know if that works. I haven't tried planing with my left hand using this plane. Okay. Got 30 seconds left. I'll just show you guys how I know the joint works or not. So I would put it on top of here, and then I would see if it rocks. Okay, it's rounded right now. That's why I can move this way. So when the joint is perfect, when you look on both sides, there'll be a white line. And that means a white line means there's no gap. Right now, obviously it won't fit together because one of the plates is rounded in the middle. So I'm gonna work on that more, and I'll see you.
Hello 啊，劈啪樂壇嘅時間，咁咧就繼續作曲啊，咁咧就雖然Biochem 嘅考試臨近啦，亦都係今朝先知道咧呢個 physiology 咧，終於就肥咗到啦，咁咧就唔係，其實一早我心裏邊已經有定數嘅，但係咧佢未公布成績啊，令我囉攣。咁公布咗成績咧，就簡直就係大快人心。知道要補考咧，咁啊努力啲啦，咁樣樣。咁 physiology 要補考啦，咁 biochemistry 咧都下個禮拜就考啦。下個禮拜就考嘅話咧，就係啦，都好緊張嘅。咁樣就揾到個先生幫我哋補習啊。咁啊有3個人同我一齊補習啦，咁樣樣。咁3個同學啊，咁就大家都喺度揾緊方法令自己合格啦，咁樣就人心惶惶啊！咁就誒誒，咦？有同學揾我喎。anyway 啦，咁啊呢啲嘢一切都唔重要嘅，最重要嘅就係作曲。作曲就係為咗學好經典，最重要就係學好經典同埋學好醫術啦，咁樣樣。咁就都聽一聽個同學講乜嘢先。唉，話完佢唔重要之後都要聽佢講，唉，真係。
我有一套咧，嗰個嘅用咧，我係印咗成 set 嗰個嘅一開4嗰個筆記啊，你要唔要啊？即係嗰 PPT 嚟嘅。咁咧，如果你要咧，我係留起佢；如果唔係咧，我可能會毀咗佢。因為咧，你揸住同你個補習老師補嘅時候，可能有用嘅。你睇下需唔需要？
哦，係嗰啲筆記啊！唉，啲同學真係好嗱。上次咧，嗰位同學咧就50分，我就51分。咁今次咧，佢都過到啊，犀利啊佢。咁就我過唔到啊，我41分啫，屌！咁啊就都唔緊要嘅，就打不死嘅啦，我係咁大家都知嘅。咁咁啊作曲緊要啊，作曲緊要啊。咁咧就。desktop two 係啊，去 desktop two 嗰度。我嘗試用呢個方式啦，即係係啦，share 呢個，咦勁啊！好啦，咁咧就去咗 desktop two 嗰度啊，咁就大家都仲聽到我講個嗬，大家都仲聽到我噏乜個嗬，123、123、456係啦，冇問題啦，咁樣就係嘛，去呢個營衛生會篇。咁咧就開多一個出嚟啦。佢預覽程式係啦，咁咧就搬上嚟呢度，係啦，咁咧就咧搬上嚟呢度，咁我睇下可唔可以兩個一齊啦？no 啊，no 啊，離開全螢幕，可以界開兩邊，呢個，哎呀，係啦，咁咧就顯示方式卷軸就呢度 mail score 火版面嚟呢度。 哦，係啦，咁樣樣咧就靚仔啦。咁咧繼續啊，上次咧作曲咧就作到咧五味啊，唔係喎，五十而復大會，去到呢度。嗯，屌你！誒，佢唔撚俾我咁 van 嘅，點解？屌你老母！再嚟個，好，你唔撚俾我用呢個，唔係好慣用兩個 mon，但係咧都用到嘅應該。啊，睇下先，應該係俾嘅喎。打開，喺呢度，係啦，呢個搬翻上嚟。啊，好煩啊！顯示方式，哦，咪陰陽相貫。 哎呀，唔啱啊！先啊，胃氣行於陰25度，行於陽25度，分為晝夜。好，不如都擺塊呢度啦，係咯，擺塊呢度啦。誒，胃氣行於陰25度。相顧如環為氣候太快一字，陰陽相顧，如環無端，為氣行於陰25度，為氣行於陽為氣行於陽度，分為晝夜。好，大概咁啦。 嗯，為何？唔係喎，25度喎。為行於我25度，25度，25。 相顧還無端，嚟多次，嚟多次，嚟一次，嚟一次，嚟多次，嚟一次，嚟一次，嚟一次。陰陽相貫，如環無端，氣行於陰25度，行於陽25度，分為晝夜，分為晝夜。相顧如環無端，為氣行於陰25度，為氣行於陽25度，分為晝夜，分為晝夜。係 work 嘅，咁啊，繼續。 很好，咁就繼續啦。哇，誒、中招亦並為中，出上焦之後，所受氣者，被糟粕精津液，化其精微，上注於肺，乃化而為血，以奉生身。莫貴於此，故獨得行於經，故獨得行於經髓，名曰營氣。好啦。呢一句單丁，跟住係其他嗰啲都係新。 故氣之陽。故氣之陽而氣，故氣之陰而止。濁者為衛，營在脈中，衛在脈外，營周不休，50而復大會。OK，係啦，咁咧。繼續。 中朝，中朝夜，並為中，出上朝之後，中朝夜，並為中。中出上朝，中朝亦並為中，出上朝之後，哦，終於有個中出啦，唉，中朝夜，並為中，出上。所受氣者，所受氣者，所受氣者，所受氣者，所受氣者被糟粕，所受氣者，所受氣者，所受氣者。 所受氣者，爸爸爸爸，所受氣者。所受氣者，被糟粕，被糟粕，被，哇，好似好嬲撩楞喎。所受氣者，被糟粕。好，係唔識唱嘅。好，填咗佢先。所受氣。個語氣其實要執下。唉，好。所受氣者，被糟粕精津亦化其精微。哦，太多字啦，會唔會呢？所受氣者，被糟粕精津亦化其精微。所受氣者，被糟粕，被糟粕精津，可以唔使咁急噶喎。 花旗。花旗精美。好難啊！多數氣者被糟粕，精樽型花旗精美。好難啊！多數氣者被糟粕，精樽型花旗精美。啊！多數氣者精樽型花旗精美。所受氣者被糟粕，精樽型花旗精美。哦，好難啊！有史以嚟最難啊！唉，停咗上面先。中出啊！呢次真係。當朝夜並未中，上朝之後所受氣者。被糟粕精樽型。 周花其精美，花其精美。所受氣者，被糟粕精津液，花其精美，花其字，花其。類似係咁啦，好奇怪嘅，但係試多次先。總之，終朝夜並為中出上朝之後，中後氣別糟粕精津液，花其精美，又 OK 嘅。嚟多次，中朝夜並為中出上朝之後，所受氣者被糟粕精津液，花其精美，又唔差噃。精美，常住於夢，常住於肺脈，常住於肺脈，乃發以奉身心，莫歸此。常住於肺脈，乃化為以奉身心，莫歸此。 心莫歸如此。哎呀，好痛苦啊！好，呢個應該好快啫。常住於快樂，內化而回血。以奉新生莫貴如此，依火風。 係如此就於此喎。哎呀屌，咪高啲。嘿，唱一次啦。冬至，no。中朝夕，並為中出上朝之後，所受氣者，被遭學精進，亦發其追味，常處於快樂，乃化而為血。唱多次啊！中朝夕，並為中出上朝之後，所受氣者，被遭學精進，亦化其精微，常住於快樂，乃化而為血，以防生身莫歸於此。係啊，類似係咁樣啦，就係咁啦。好，今日嘅時間咧就大致上差唔多，因為我有其他嘢要做，返學校開會嗰啲咁樣。咁咧就多謝大家嘅陪伴啦。咁咧就大家睇世界盃啊，睇開心啲啊，有一個愉快嘅週末。咁啊，多謝各位，thank you，拜拜。望呢度先啊！
睇完節目記得 like、comment 同埋 share 我哋嘅 channel，收睇最強頻道，訂閱熱血時報。